On behalf of CMS and the CPC Plus audit team, we would like to welcome you to your web-based training for the program year 2020 CPC Plus audit. Today, we are going to introduce the audit team, explain the purpose of this training, review all the materials you received in your notification package, and provide you with important contact and resource information you might find helpful as you prepare to participate in the audit. Your audit will be led by Bland & Associates PC, a CPA firm located in Omaha, Nebraska. The Bland team will conduct the audit from the Omaha office on behalf of CPC Plus. Your audit notification email contains the name and contact information of your audit lead, who will be your primary contact throughout the audit. You may call or email your audit lead with any questions or concerns you have about your audit. If you have any issues with your audit you would like to address with CMS, you may contact Harold Bailey, the CPC Plus Audit Program Lead. The purpose of this training is to help your practice prepare to participate in the audit process. To do this, we are going to walk through the documents you received with your audit notification email. These documents collectively will be referred to as the Audit Notification Package. The walkthrough will provide an overview of the audit process, including the timeline, the information we will be requesting, and how your documentation is shared. We will help you form an understanding of the potential outcomes that could occur once the audit is complete, and we will help your practice determine what questions you want to ask your audit lead should the need arise. Your audit notification package was sent to you via email and contained 4 elements: the email from your audit lead letting you know your practice had been selected for audit, an audit information and request list Word document, a box user guide, and an official audit notification letter from CMS. We will spend most of this presentation covering the audit information and request list and the box user guide. All the notification package materials are also available in Box, the secure HIPAA-compliant transfer portal your practice will use to exchange documents with the audit team. The Audit Information and Request List document contains the material you will need to participate in the audit. It provides the audit timeframe, an overview of possible audit outcomes, a list of audit inquiries your practice will need to answer, and the documentation requests the audit team is making. First, we will discuss the audit timeframe. The timeline began when your practice received your audit notification via email. By viewing this web-based training, you are completing the next step in the timeline. The first key date to be aware of is the document submission deadline, which is 10 business days from the day you received your audit notification. Your notification package materials will clearly list the specific date your first responses are due. Audit procedures typically take between 30 and 90 days, starting after submitting your audit information and documentation. Your audit lead will contact you as necessary with clarifying questions or if additional documentation is required. Issues that are identified in audit will be noted as findings. You will also be updated with any audit findings as they arise. Preliminary findings will be issued once audit procedures are complete. If significant findings are discovered during the audit procedures, your audit lead will schedule a conference call with your practice to review the preliminary audit issues and make sure the findings are correct. Once your practice has had the chance to review and respond to preliminary findings, your audit lead will draft your final audit report and submit it to CMS for review and approval. Your practice will receive a copy of the final audit report once it is approved. The length of your audit will depend on the timeliness of your submission, the completeness of your practice's documentation, and the audit findings discovered during audit procedures. If issues related to non-compliance with program requirements are found, requests for additional care delivery and financial support will be needed. Your audit lead will provide your practice with the specific information and timeframes related to any subsequent information requests as necessary. We have observed two main best practices that, when followed, can greatly reduce the burden of the audit on your practice by increasing efficiency and reducing the amount of time your practice is under audit. Practices that provide timely and complete responses allow for the audit to stay on track and limit the amount of follow-up requests and submissions they need to respond to. Additionally, practices that proactively use their audit lead as a resource to answer any questions regarding the audit and its requests are more likely to provide timely and complete responses. It is your audit lead's job to help you when you have questions. Always feel free to reach out. Based on audit results, your practice could experience one or more of the following outcomes: no further action, education on opportunities for improvement, request for corrective actions, repayment of program funds, or termination from CPC Plus. All audit outcomes are decided by CMS. If no further action is required of your practice, your final report will indicate that outcome in the conclusion section. If your practice is being considered for remedial actions by CMS, your final report will contain a statement that provides you with additional information regarding the timing and method of communication you can expect to receive. Now we will review the requested information and documentation table and discuss each of the audit requests. The table details the information or documentation your practice must provide for the audit team to conduct your audit. For the first 10 items, you have the option of responding in the table's response column or submitting a document that answers the request. If you choose to submit separate documentation, be sure to enter the name of the document in the far right column. As you go through the request list, please make sure to record any questions you may have and reach out to your audit lead for answers. The first audit request asks if your practice is affiliated with a health system that is comprised of other CPC Plus practices. This information allows us to better understand the organizational structure of your practice. If your practice does not have this type of affiliation, you can just enter no in the response column. If your answer is yes, you can either provide a description in the response column or provide a separate document that answers the question. If you choose to submit a document, please name it using your practice ID with the description of the response and enter the name in the File Names for Supporting Documentation column. An example of how to populate the table is shown here, and the other requests follow the same structure. The second audit request asks for information on whether your practice uses a consultant or care management company to perform CPC Plus tasks. This request only relates to CPC Plus activities and helps provide us with insight into how your practice implemented the CPC Plus requirements. If your answer is yes, please ensure your response covers the additional detail requests in the response column about the consultant agency or company, the scope of its work, and your practice's oversight of its services. Audit requests 3 through 10 focus on the policies and procedures your practice has in place regarding various care delivery functions. The audit team will use your responses to form an understanding of how your practice approaches these key activities. The audit information and request list is very detailed and designed to help you ensure your responses are thorough and as complete as possible. To limit the amount of follow-up requests, please ensure each sub-bullet point within every request is addressed in your responses, even if your practice is not currently performing one of the activities listed. Audit request number 11 requires you to upload specific documentation. You may also provide additional notes in the response column if you think the documentation needs clarification. For this request, the audit team is looking for a roster of all care-managed patients sorted by risk tier to support the number of patients under care management you reported in the CPC Plus portal for the Q4 2020 reporting period. Next, we are going to review the Box User Guide. Box is the secure HIPAA-compliant transfer portal your practice will use to exchange documents with the audit team. This guide provides important information about how to access your audit folder, how to download documents that are in your folder, and how to upload responses to the audit inquiries. The first topic the guide covers is accessing your Box audit folder. The Box folder is the place where all audit-related documentation will be shared between your practice and the audit team. Your practice's confirmed contacts will receive an auto-generated email that will have an invitation to collaborate in Box. To access your practice's Box folder for the first time, you will need to select Accept Invite in the email. These steps will need to be carried out by every individual at your practice who wants to be able to upload and download files. Next, you will need to create an account in Box. To do this, enter your full name and email address, then create and confirm your password. Click Submit. Before you can access your audit folder, you'll need to agree to the terms of service. To get to that page, go to the notifications icon on the left-hand side of the page that appears after you submit your user information, shown here. Read the terms of service and click the Agree and Accept icon at the bottom of the page, shown here. After you accept, you will receive a prompt that lets you know the collaboration was accepted. Click on the Yes icon and you will be brought to your practice's audit folder. To access your folder anytime after finishing this step, just go to blandcpa.box.com, type in your email address and password, and your folder will appear. To download a single document from Box, open the folder containing the document and click on the document you want to download. The document opens in Box with a download button on the top right side of your screen. Clicking the download button causes a download box to pop up in the bottom left of the screen, and when the download is finished, you can open the document. If you need to download a folder from Box, right-click on the folder and select Download from the drop-down menu. You will see a box at the bottom left of your screen. When the download is complete, click on Open, and the files will present from a new zip folder. When it's time to upload files to Box, you'll need to go to your folder, click the Upload button in the top right corner, and then choose Files. A pop-up window will appear, and from that you can select the file or files you want to upload from your computer. Once you've selected the file, click the Open button. If you would prefer to upload multiple files at one time that are already in a folder, you will begin the same way by going to your folder in Box. Click on the Upload button on the top right of the screen, then select Folder. The pop-up window will appear, and you can select the folder you want to upload. Once you have selected the folder you need, click OK to upload it to Box. Quick tip: uploads like this work best if you have the latest version of Java. Also, if you are working in Chrome, you have the option of dragging and dropping your selected files or folders into your Box folder. If you have any questions about how to use Box, you can always reach out to your audit lead or to the Bland CPC Plus Audit Support Desk. Your audit lead will be your primary point of contact throughout the audit. If for any reason you are unable to reach your audit lead, you may also contact the Audit Support Desk via email at cpcplusauditteam@blandcpa.com or by phone at 1-833-204-5678. Please note that your practice facilitator cannot assist with audit-related questions or issues. Anything audit-related should be directed to your audit lead, the Audit Support Desk, or CPC Plus Audit Program Lead, Harold Bailey. CPC Plus Connect houses several additional resources the audit team has created. On Connect, you can also see questions other practices have asked about audits by entering Audit in the search bar of the home page. Thank you for taking time to view this video. The audit team is available whenever you have questions, and we look forward to working with you throughout this audit process.